Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Political science is an interesting subject and affects us in our daily lives. What is politics or political science? Suppose you are planning to go for a dinner with your family. You want to eat Chinese, your father wants dal roti and your mother wants dosa. While you all are trying to decide, your cousin comes to your house and also agrees to go for dinner with you and wants pizza. Can you imagine the situation? Who takes the decision? While this example is simplified, think about more complicated issues. Can you imagine what happens when people's relation, language, economic status affects a decision-making process? Citizens of a country need a governing institution and policymakers for protecting their sustainable lives. The very objective of politics and political theory is to train citizens so that they can rationally think about politics. How people support their government is important in political theory. Also, such that they can assess values like equality, freedom, and justice in political life with reference to local, national, and international political events. Politics arises because each person is different. Our wants as individuals are diverse. It is about collective decision-making for the greater good of the society. Like discussed earlier, ordering pizza for a family of 4 can be as much an illustration of politics as anything else. How do you balance the vegan with the kid who wants meat on everything if your budget can only support one pizza? Or how do you decide where to go on a vacation? That's politics too. Politics is about who gets what, when, and how. It is essentially about settling contestation through negotiations. Politics is about the collective way of decision-making adopted by citizens, like in the form of a government. Politics is also about government action and its ability to fulfill people's aspirations. It is about influencing decision-making by negotiations, debate, and collective ways to solve social problems. Political theory is concerned with values and principles that shape our government, constitution, and social life in an organized manner. It further upholds the significance of rule of law, separation of powers, judicial review, etc. It further elucidates the ideals of equality, justice, freedom, and democracy. Political theorists use recent political experiences to point out trends and possibilities for future. Example, use of internet for gathering mass movements, what we saw recently in Hong Kong. While India has gained its freedom, the idea of freedom is not the same for all its citizens. There is still discrimination in our society. New interpretations are made to rules. Example, right to information. Political thinkers from ancient times have been debating about what is right and just in political theory. In 5th century BC, Plato and Socrates, the great thinkers, debated between democracy and monarchy as forms of government. In the Indian Constitution, a lot of debate took place to determine equality for all. Democracy and freedom is considered as important as equality and were included as Gandhian principles in directive principles of Constitution. For example, right to life, Article 21 in Indian Constitution has been amended to include right to livelihood and right to education, which is Article 21A. Societies frequently encounter new challenges which generate new interpretations. In the process, we discover new and broader meanings of the system itself. Meaning of equality is dependent on situation, circumstance within layers of meaning between oneself and others. For example, equal opportunity for old age and disabled in buses, metros for travel. For any day laborer, the idea of equality is about equal pay for equal work. Political theorists practice and debate concepts of freedom, rights, justice, equality, nationalism, and secularism so that there can be ensured fairness to all in application of equality as a right. An example is citizens using political rights for raising their grievances concerning development in localities for clean air, water, etc. Political theory is relevant for us as students, journalists, entrepreneurs, etc. At every age or role in society, it helps us in being reasonable and informed of the world around us so we can decide issues and offer our views. Political theory does not lead to abstract preferences. Instead, it makes us sure of the fact if we feel oppressed, we want it to be redressed. If we are privileged, we deny that there is any oppression. Political theory leads us to systematic thinking, argue in an informed manner to support common interests, and communicate effectively. So students, we know politics very differently in our lives, as we hear about it every day in news and television. It is actually a much broader subject and a very interesting one. We will learn about them more in details in our subsequent videos. Till then, happy learning!